Hello, welcome back. So in this part, we will solve another problem. So here again, the data is given. So AST is given and all the data regarding the dimension of beam is same as we have taken in problem 1. So here you can see the diagram is same. The only thing is changed is AST. Area of steel is changed. So when we change this area of steel, what will be the moment of resistance of this flange beam? So that is what we are required to determine. So now we will follow the same steps that we have followed in the first problem, because in this third problem, we don't know whether our section is underinforced section or overinforced section or the balanced section. We don't know that. And even we don't know where our neutral axis is lying. Like in the second case, we already know that our section is balanced section and neutral axis is lying in the web. But right now in this third problem, we don't know where it will be lying. So we will follow the same step as we have followed in the first problem. So first we will determine the neutral axis depth by assuming that XU is lying in the flange. So that is our first assumption that we are going to follow to calculate the value of XU. So we will use the same formula to find out the value of XU and putting all the values, because we already know what is Fy, what is AST, FCK, BF. So all these values are known. So putting all the values, we get the value of XU as 129. So this time you can see this value is more than DF. What does it means? It means our assumption of XU lying in the flange is incorrect. It means XU is more than DF. It is lying in the web. So that is what I have written. The assumption of XU in the flange is incorrect. Neutral axis lies in the web. Now, as we know that now we know that Na will be lying in the web. We can have case 2, we can have case 3 or case 4. Case 2 belongs to balanced section, case 3 belongs to underinforced section, case 4 belongs to the overinforced section. So we can have any of the section, because right now we don't know which section our problem will be. So as I said, in this case, we don't know whether our problem is under, over or balanced section. So in this, first of all, we will find out the DF by D ratio. Now we know that DF by D ratio is 0.222. That is what we have find out in the second problem also. So this will be the same value. DF by D ratio is greater than 0.2. It means uh, our case, our case of this problem can be 2B or can be case 3B or it can be case 4B. Now, whether it is case 2B, 3B or 4B, it will be calculated on the basis of XU, the correct value of XU. So first we will find out the correct value of XU and then we will compare this with XU max and then we will determine whether our section is overinforced, underinforced or balanced section. So as we know that this DF by D ratio is used for balanced section and overinforced section. By chance, if we have underinforced section, in that case, it can be DF by XU ratio. So right now for underinforced section, we don't know the value of XU, but we are just assuming that because if DF by D ratio is greater than 0.2, then there are chances that DF by XU ratio can also be greater than 0.43. This is what we are assuming for the time being. We will verify whether it is correct or not. But by assuming this, we can say that our case may be 2B, 3B or 4B because uh, it is on the higher side. The ratio is on the higher side than the limiting value. So by assuming this, now we will find out the correct value of XU. Because if it belongs to B part of case 2B or 3B or 4B, the common thing is that the constant stress in T beam, if I make the, say, we now know that Na will be lying in the flange, sorry, in the web. So this is XU, and if we draw the stress diagram, so for some part of the flange it will be constant and then it will be varying. So for how much part it is constant, so that depth is YF. So we calculate this YF when our case belong to either it is 2B, 3B or 4B. In that case we find out YF. So we assume that our case can be basically it will be B part. So in that case we will now equate C and T to find out the correct value of XU. So this time we know that our Na will be in the web. So again it means that the whole flange and whole flange and part of the web will be under compression. So again we will use the same C formula that we have used in the previous problem, which is 0.36 FCK BW into XU. So this is the compressive force taken by this part, and this is the compression force taken by only this part, because this depth is YF, and because for YF depth, for YF depth only, the stress is constant, which is 0.45 FCK. So similarly here also for this part. So this is the C for this flange part and this flange part of thickness YF. And this is the tensile force of this reinforcement. So we already know the AST value, we already know the Fy value. So all values are known except the value of XU. So we will now equate and find out the value of XU. So putting all the values here. So as you can see in the equation, only XU is unknown. Why even the YF value? Because right now we don't know whether our section is under, balanced or over. So YF value is also putting here, which is 0.15 XU plus 0.65 DF. So you can see here I have written XU because we won't write XU max because we don't know whether our problem is balanced, under or over. So that is why here we are writing XU, which we are required to find out. So solving this equation, we get the value of XU as 169.398, and you can see this value is less than 216. What does it mean? It means that our problem is under reinforced. Our problem belongs to under reinforced section. So that is what I have written. Hence, the section is under reinforced section. So it means our problem can be case 3B. But to verify this, we have to find out the actual DF by XU ratio. Because initially we have assumed that, now we will actually find out DF by XU ratio because the value of XU is known here. So now our next step is to determine MR, because we know what is the case. At least we know that it belongs to case 3. Now it is case 3A or B. That will be found out only when we can find out the ratio DF by XU. So by putting the value of DF and XU, we get the value 0.59, and you can see this value is greater than 0.43. So which means our initial assumption of assuming DF by XU ratio greater than 0.43, it is correct. So it means it belongs to problem 3B. So this is the case 3B, and therefore the corresponding equation for moment of resistance for this problem will be this one. So here all the formula is same that we have used in the problem 2. The only difference is the change in this. So in the second problem, we were using XU max by D, but here, because our section is under reinforced section, we are using XU by D. So that is the only change that is here. This change and this change is done, and this becomes the formula for under reinforced section. So putting all the values here, we get the value of moment of resistance. But before that, we will be calculating the value of YF also. So YF is also dependent on XU because our problem is under reinforced. So putting all the values, we get the value of YF as 90.409 mm. Now putting this YF value in the above equation, so we get the MR value as 369.18 into 10 raised to power 6 Newton mm. So this is the moment of resistance for this problem. So you can see all the values of moment of resistance is changing by changing the amount of steel. So now in the next problem, we will take another example with the same figure by changing another value of moment of resistance. Sorry, by changing the value of area of steel. So we will go to the next problem now. Thank you.